When a student comes to the innovation portal and they want to create an account, they can either click register now, or in the upper right hand corner there's also a link to register. When you register an account, it only asks for a little bit of information. It asks for a unique username that you create. That can be your email address or something unique. Then it asks for the email address that you'd like tied to the innovation portal account, and you'll have to verify that the email address or that the account is active through your email. So you get sent an email saying, just checking if this is a real email address. Please click here to confirm your account. And then the user profile, a student's first name, their last name, their school, their city, state, zip code, and then the best fit for these, if they happen to be in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, that kind of thing, or if they happen to be a mentor or an instructor. And then finally, also best fit if this applies to a technology and engineering course, a co-curricular project, an independent study, that kind of thing. And then once they've done that, if they are under 18 years old, it asks them to click this button and have their parent acknowledge and accept the use of the innovation portal. If they're over 18, they can just click this button and then create a new account. Once they've created an account, they again go to their email and then they confirm the account, and then they can use their username and password to log in. I'll do that right now. So we'll pretend I've gone through the registration. We've timed it, takes about 3 minutes. But once you have an account, we'll create one here, your password, and then we'll log in. When you log in, you know you're logged in because you get this extra dashboard here. And this extra dashboard lets you control your password. It lets you report problems if you see them, and most importantly, it takes you to this dashboard, which is where you can create new portfolios. There's one already created in this account called Team Einstein, and then these other headings, other portfolios. If I want to create my own portfolios, they will be listed underneath here. If somebody invited me to their portfolio, like I was going to be their partner, they would show up down here. And then when you're invited, you can either accept or decline an invitation, either as a mentor, a teacher, a student, a partner, all those kinds of things. So let's take a look at what that looks like to create a portfolio and what students would experience, and then I'll show you how the rubric is presented in front of them at all times. So we'll create a portfolio and we'll call it NGIC, and then just kind of create that, or we can put any title we wanted up there. And then you'll see that the students get a dashboard, and this is saying that you haven't entered anything here yet, but if you'll picture a 3-ring binder kind of portfolio sitting in front of you with one of those plastic inserts where you could put information right on the cover, that's where it defaults right away. Here's the portfolio homepage. Students typically put pictures of themselves, their school, maybe some background about why they chose the problem, that kind of thing. Underneath element A and the rest of the rubric, you can see, I hope, I'll zoom in a little bit. Oops. I guess I'll zoom out. A couple things that there's the title of the rubric, presentation and justification of the problem, meant to be descriptive. But I can click the rubric, and if you look up here, a second tab jumped out. So I didn't really jump away from my portfolio. It's still there, but it just opened up and said, here's the rubric for element A. The problem is clearly identified and with considerable depth, and is elaborated with detail. The problem highlights the concerns, and so this is for a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. We'll show in the second video what it looks like to a judge. So that's always there. For element A, what are they looking for? And also for element A, underneath resources, there are these graded examples. These are examples of other projects that people have done. Again, another tab opens, and a student can have these resources sitting in front of them saying, this is what a 3 looks like. Here's where it fits in the rubric as a whole, and here's what that student submitted that somebody graded as a 3. So some articles, some interviews with professionals about the problem, very much like the group from Elgin did. Alright, so we have all these resources available to us as we build, but we'll jump back to the portfolio in element A over here, and then we'll put in some pictures and text just to show you. When we go to an element or a tab in our portfolio, like element A, we click on it and it highlights it in black, saying this is where you are, you're working on it. Remember, you can access the rubric and the resources anytime you want. But to show you what it looks like from a student's perspective, on one page we'll upload some pictures and some text, and even maybe show you how to throw a movie is thrown in there. So we're going to click on the Edit tab. If you can imagine students out, gathering their information from emails and journals and typing things up. We're just going to document it like you would in a 3-ring binder on the table, but we're able to share it out with partners, and they can change things, and the whole idea of making it online. So in the body of our text, we have nothing there yet. We're going to upload some pictures and some documents. Down here we have a couple of pictures that we've uploaded. I guess it looks like I've uploaded one twice. I'll upload a new one. We'll browse for one. Here we got the team working. We'll just upload that picture. And so these are available to us to kind of arrange, if you would, on our portfolio page for the judges what we want them to see. Down here by documents, if I have complicated charts that I've turned into PDF files or Word documents, Excel documents that I want to share and describe, I can do that too. So we'll upload one here from the desktop. There we go. And we'll just upload that file so I can add files and pictures, that kind of thing. And then I'll pull a screen over here. I've been typing some things out on Microsoft Word, so describing maybe the texts. These are just some things I took from Innovation Portal descriptions. Maybe these describe those pictures that I've been working on. So very much like students put together a physical portfolio, we put together this one. There's some instructions on how to do what I'm about to show you, but we'll put something called a table in there, which like pictures and text, and that just kind of gives an alignment to everything, kind of like a spreadsheet. We'll put a picture here and some text over here. So in these little kind of cells that I've created, I'll come down here and say, well, I want that picture, so I'll insert it up there, and it threw it in there, and it's a bit large, so we will, we'll scrunch it down a bit. And then over here we want some text that describes that picture for our judges. And I'll go back over to my Word document. I'll highlight the text that I liked, that I was creating for that, and then I'll come in here and I will paste it in place, and you can see that the text is right there. And once the text and the pictures are there, students can do things like highlight them in different sizes or different colors, that kind of thing. And we can continue to do that down here. We'll put another picture over here. There we go. And again, that's a bit large, so we will scrunchy it down a little bit. That's a technical word, scrunchy. And again, we'll go over to our Word document, steal the text that we were using. And I just wanted to give you the idea of what it looks like for a student to build. But most important to our conversation is what was the, what's a good entry, what's a bad entry, and that's what those examples in the rubric were about. So once the students kind of put those things together, and again I mentioned we could put video in here and link it to those kinds of things, a student will hit, just hit save, and then this is what it looks like to anybody who would come to the portfolio page. My partners can come in. If they didn't like the word Innovation Portal, they could change that, and we can work on it together. I could work on one part of the portfolio while you worked on the other part of the portfolio, and in each of these cases, as you step through the design process, defining the problem, looking at what other people have done and analyzing those solutions, brainstorming about your solution, coming up with design requirements. How did you use math and science to inform your decisions? Does the design have a chance at being a real problem? Can it, of getting out of the lab and into the marketplace? Did you use cancerous materials or something like that? How do what are your thoughts about of it being a real solution? If you're going to build it for a third world country, can they build your design with the resources that they have? Those kinds of thinking that engineers do. Can you construct a testable prototype, either the full prototype or prototyping pieces and testing it against those design requirements from before, run it through some tests, evaluate what you've done, and then reflect back on the project. These are all of the things that we've worked with engineering design professors to outline. Each has its own rubric. Some are short, some are longer, but they all go together like that, and students document their work here. So in the second part of this video, I'll show you, if you can imagine a student putting that all together and then submitting, getting it just the way they want it, and then submitting their portfolio to the NGIC. I'll show you what it looks like from the judges. Let's do a quick look at the from a judge's perspective. So you can see that a student has those resources and the rubric connected to those resources, so they know where they're going at each time. And then the judges will have the same rubric, but it will be attached to each portfolio, and they can judge at their leisure. And I want to show you what that looks like. The dashboard we're looking at right now is actually what an administrator, what the NGIC committee would see. And I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like. Here's the Oklahoma Engineering Design Showcase. And what an administrator would see, not so much a judge, is you would be able to watch these entries come in during the submission time. You can see that since it's from Oklahoma, they're all from Oklahoma, but they might be from different states, and they can be sorted by state and things like that. But you can distribute the portfolios to a particular judge. You can have it auto-distribute to judges if you want everything graded 3 times and nobody to see the same portfolio 3 times. That's fine. I just wanted to kind of show you what it looks like to bring a judge into the mix. So as an administrator, I would come underneath opportunity memberships, and I could invite judges and associates. An associate is somebody else who can help manage the competition, so there doesn't have to be just one person in adding judges and things like that if you don't want there to be. So I'm going to invite myself at this email to be a judge, and I could be an associate if I was helping run the competition. So Mark Schroll is going to be a judge. I could write a message here that shows up in the email that goes out. But if I already have an Innovation Portal account, the invite will show up there as well. So we're going to invite Mark Schroll as a judge, and that's all there is to adding a judge. It says we've sent a message, and we'll let you know when the judge accepts. I jumped over to another browser to show you what the judge would see, and it actually says, okay, here we are. You've created those 2 portfolios, but you've been invited to be a judge in the Oklahoma, in this case, Engineering Design Showcase, and the role of a judge, and this is when you were invited. So let's accept that invitation to look at that portfolio. And so I've accepted that, and then you can see up here it creates a new heading for you in your dashboard. So this is what a judge would see. Now you have opportunity memberships, an opportunity like a competition, anything. Here you are, and you are a judge. So when you log in, you come to your dashboard now, and you go inside the Oklahoma Engineering Design Showcase, and you'll see that there's no reviews yet and no completed reviews. Now I'm going to pull this window off to the side and go back over here to the administrator's dashboard, and we're going to say, okay, well, what we want to do is we want to send the drop-down desk and the easy-to-use retractable sun shield, send those to selected judges. So we're going to select the judge and submit that, and it says, well, what judge do you want to send it to? I want to send it to Mark Schroll, and then I'll submit that. And this will keep track of the progress of the judges. If you take a look over here, Mark Schroll has 2 portfolios to review, and he hasn't done either one of them yet, that evil man. So, and these are the other judges for that competition. So we'll take a look at what Mark Schroll sees. I'll pull him back over into the view here. There's Mark Schroll. We'll go back to his dashboard and then open that up. And it says, there they are. You have these 2 portfolios to judge. So again, this is anywhere in the world a judge sits down, and even though there may be 100 submissions in there, these are the only 2 I have to do. And it's pretty simple. I'm going to go judge this one and judge that one, and when I've completed it, it will jump down here and just say, these are the reviews you completed. Once they're in the completed section, you can't edit them anymore. It's kind of like, are you sure you want to submit this score kind of thing? But then once they're in the completed section, both the administrator and the judge gets to keep a copy of them. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Let's go to the drop-down desk as a judge, and you'll see over here that it jumps right to their home page, and this is what they put in their home page. We'll just click element A, which can be judged, and this is what they submitted for element A, some pictures and some text. And what we're going to want to do is edit the review. So when I click edit the review, it's going to keep everything there that the student submitted. But most importantly for the judge is that as you read down, it looks like they submitted quite a bit. Come on. There it is, right at the bottom of their submission. This is where the judge gets to grade things. For a 0, there's the same descriptors that the students saw. And let's say that after you looked at that and you said, okay, that best fits a 3, as a judge, you can come down here and say, this is what I think could be better. And what could be great on this one. So that's all the longer it takes to grade that element. And then we'll save the review. And then when you go to element B, C, D, all the way down. And when you're done, we can take a look at the overview. Now, this is one of those pages that says, like, just before you buy something online, it says, are you sure? Well, take a look at what it's done. We gave the first thing we looked at a 3, and we have not reviewed the other elements yet. And it's saying is that, you can submit it that way if you want to, or you can go back and edit those. I can go back and edit A. Everything is very fluid at this time. It's keeping track. If each one of these elements are worth 5 points, it's saying you got 3 out of 70 so far. And then I can do a final note. Let's pretend all those red unreviewed things were gone, and I could do a final note. And remember, as administrators, you get to see everything the judges do, and the students don't, but just the administrators do. And we can talk about releasing all those notes back to the students at a final time. So when you've got everything just the way you want it, and you really want to submit all this review, we'll submit the review, and then it locks it into place. And to show that, I'm going to go back to what the judges see in their Oklahoma Engineering Design Challenge, and you can see the drop-down desk move from pending reviews down to completed reviews. And again, I'm not able to edit this anymore, but as a judge, if I want to go back and say, this looks like one of the ones that I did before, or I want to see what I gave it before, you can go back and review everything that you had submitted. You just can't edit it anymore. If we run down to the bottom, pardon me for making you dizzy, if you run down to the bottom, you see that the 3 is now locked in, and then the comments that you made as a judge are locked in. And the administrator can see this, and the judge can see this, and the system locks it into place for everybody. So that's what a day in the life of the judge would be. That's how the rubric is integrated both for the student and the judge and the administrators. And then I'm going to slide this one out of the way, and we're back to the administrator dashboard. I want to show you what that looks like, because this is probably important to running the competition. From a larger perspective, if I have 50, 100 judges out there, it's keeping track of the score. So the average score of that one drop-down desk is so far a 3. And only one completed review, and we can go inside the drop-down desk and see, okay, who reviewed it so far. Oh, it looks like Mark Schroll reviewed it, and he gave it a 3. And if Dan Bonnick had graded it, he'd be listed under here, and his score would be there, and it would be averaged into the total. Again, you can keep track of all of your judges in a number of ways. Probably the biggest overview of a way to keep track of a judge's progress overview that we saw before. There's Mark Schroll down there, and it looks like he's getting a little better. He did 1 out of his 2 assignments, and as soon as it says 2 out of 2, you don't have to call him on the phone and say, hey, hurry up and get busy, finish judging. So, and once these are all in place, I want to show you the dashboard again. It's ranking them by score. We can rank them by average score. We can filter it and find all the scores in a given state. So the highest score in a state, or the highest score overall. So you have those kind of structures as well. And as you go through these, the administrative dashboard, you can click on Hydro Sleeve and see what any given judge has done at any time, see if there's any discrepancies. You can look for ties, that kind of thing. And this is how you can, spreadsheet fashion, if you would, is kind of automated spreadsheet fashion, gives you, as an administrator, your top placers all the way down. So that's a look at it from the eyes of a judge and an administrator. We'll pull the judge back out here. And again, remember your judges, as soon as they've gone through their reviews and they're down here under completed reviews, they're done. And then they can stop a review at any point, and they just save the point at they're at, and then they can go off, have dinner, come back and finish that particular portfolio, so they can grade at their leisure. Hope you liked it.